Welcome back to the North American LCS. Our next match, Curse versus Team Solo Mid. We're getting right into this one. Both of these teams have been on a bit of a slide. For TSM, they've lost their last 3 games in a row and haven't gotten a win since week 1.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure that TSM are feeling right now to uphold this legacy of winning is causing them to overreach in games. But they are also still having trouble before the game even starts. In Champion Select, where the foundation for the team strategy should be laid, is really causing them problems. And then in-game, we have also seen them overcommitting and spending valuable resources for small victories, like a support kill, without transitioning into an objective. So they're aware of these problems, though. They're trying to work on this.
Right, but as we saw yesterday, and Curse's loss to Complexity, they've been struggling a bit with team coordination.
Yeah, it was most evident with I Will Dominate's Pantheon Ultimates. There were several instances, where his man flop was far from the action or right in the middle of the enemy team without any friendly faces around to back him up. Obviously with the team's shared history and Xpecial's move to Curse, this has sort of become a very hotly contested match.
Yeah, absolutely a hotly contested matchup. And we recently caught up with Xpecial to talk to him about the changes and possibilities that come with the new team.
Walking through the door of the Curse house for the first time, there's a lot of emotions. Some joy, seeing new faces, a new team, new opportunities. And there's a bit of sadness leaving behind such a long bond that I had with TSM. It was bittersweet. I'm in a really unique situation. Most players, when they leave a team, it's often because of performance. For me, it wasn't. I didn't get along well enough with the team, and they found someone that they felt was a good replacement. I still have the potential to be really good. I want to bring that potential to Curse. I want to make them really good. I want people to remember, yes, this guy did really well at TSM, he did well with Curse, and he pushed them from a strong team into a great team. This is probably going to be the biggest trial for me. I want to prove people wrong. I make an effort to fix things and fix whatever bad qualities I may have. I'm not someone that doesn't get along with the team. With Curse, I've been working really hard just to help the team improve and to work well with the team. I have 2 books right now. One book is my TSM book. It's finished. It's polished. There's many victories, awards, but my Curse book is empty. I have a lot to write, and I want to make Curse a top team.
Your screen, the man, the myth, the hour, trying to bring all-star plays to the team of Curse.
What does it hold?
What are you reading there?
What does it hold?
What are you reading there, Kobe?
Not sure. There's a lot of pressure on him, though.
There is.
Both parties actually have not been doing well after the split. He's been struggling on Curse, and Turtle as well. TSM have been struggling pretty much as a whole team. So we'll see who comes out ahead in this matchup, because there's a lot to prove.
Well, we'll get a little more insider on the match, but from a different mind. Now let's send it down to Jat, who's standing by with TSM's owner.
Thanks, Riv. And Reginald, there's a lot of questions about TSM with the unfortunate start you guys have had. 3-game losing streak. Is this what you expected coming in with the roster changes?
When you have a new roster, you can't really have high expectations, and I knew it was going to be shaky at the start with the nature of our team and how scrims go, but I have confidence that we are going to do really well towards the end of the split.
One player a lot of people have been talking about is Glebe, the guy who just replaced Xpecial. It seems like he's burdened with a lot of responsibility on TSM. How do you think he's dealing with the stress and everything else going on?
For the first couple of weeks, it was a little shaky, but there's a lot of pressure on him, and I definitely have confidence that he will do well. One of the reasons why I picked him up is because he is a really good player, and he really helps the team with our strategy, and I think it's going to start showing. It's just going to take a little bit to warm up, but overall, I have confidence in him. I think that it's just going to be a few weeks of shakiness, but overall, it's going to be a strong showing.
What do you guys think he had to improve on the most coming into this game with what's happened so far?
It's overall his play in general. Like he in the scrims, he plays really well, But when it goes to LCS, there's a lot of pressure. And I think that it's just something that you need to work on. And once we get rid of it, it's something that we don't have to worry about anymore. And it's going to take time, but we're going to work through it. And we're going to go through it as a team and just constantly improve.
And what was the thing you guys did today in order to prepare for Curse?
A lot of our problems where we overplan, we try to overanalyze things, and we try to work on their gameplay over ours. We're a lot more focused on our gameplay now, and we're coming in with our own strategies and really focused on our own performance versus how to counter theirs. We're just overall focused on ourselves.
All right, thank you very much, Reginald. Good luck to TSM in the game and the rest of the season. Send it back to the guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jat, and let's get right into it. On the blue side, it's going to be Curse. It's going to be Quas in the top lane. We have Dominate in the jungle. Mid is going to be Voyboy, Cop at 80 carry, and Special on support.
And on the red side, it's TSM. Up top is Dyrus in the jungle. Amazing. Bjergsen mid, Turtle 80 carry, and Glebe support.
Bjergsen with a dapper face there as we went into Champion Select, really just stretching things out and getting all warmed up, I guess. Special was he had a bullseye on Wild Turtle's head this last game. Thresh hooks into invisible twitches.
The last matchup.
Able to grab their last game, their last matchup, correct. That Wild Turtle didn't seem to get away from, and it's like they had a little vendetta fighting each other. He tried to always get in a range, but Special knew exactly where he was with his Wild Turtle range.
Yeah, Wild Turtle did have some problems with his positioning, and it was kind of funny that Special was the one punishing him for it last time these two teams met. We'll see what comes in Chapter 2 between these two teams, though, because like Reggie said, a lot of introspective time for TSM. Everybody spent looking more at themselves, more at their own team play rather than their opponents.
And he was talking a little bit about, nerves, Glebe's nerves. All these players actually go through quite a bit of nerves. They got to get over that throughout the game. Then you almost have the extra weight of the fan base on you, wanting you to do well, social media. A lot of these players, it's not just replicating sitting at home playing a game. There's a whole lot of pressure.
We've had a lot of the players, have to have stoppage time before or even
Anxiety
after games
sometimes.
because there's so much stress to perform. Curse specifically, one of the teams that has suffered from that.
We'll see what they can do to pull out of it. This time they have been quite strong lately in their down and money fights, to say the least. They're always able to grab a few things, but then look for too much. They grab for a little too much, and then they get bit back. Good bans towards the mid coming out. Voyboy will not have a Yasuo game today.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the TSM picks in this particular draft phase because, as Reggie said, they're looking at themselves. I want to see what the identity of this new TSM team is, because we know what the identity of the old TSM team was. With all of those old players, they were so strong in team fights, and the individual skill was through the roof. And they just came together so quickly for a lot of those mid-game dragon fights and just dominated North America with it. But the new TSM are a little bit different. Their jungler is more carry-oriented, less supportive.
Right.
To see how it plays out.
And somewhere TSM has fallen behind a little bit is in the Champion Select phase. We'll see if they can get through this one without any rough spots. Seems like they can still get the majority of their picks. Darius will have whatever he wants in the top lane. And down the line, looks like it'll be safe for TSM's picks. Not too much focus on Amazing. I'm sure he's liking that again.
Yeah, let's see. A lot of mid lane bans spent. And only the single jungle, taking out the one champion away from Amazing that people have raised above all others.
Yeah.
Even though he got Lee Sin a couple times, and it didn't work out for them that well either. So
Special getting his Thresh once again. That will be replicated from their first matchup. It looks like Wild Turtle. He wants the Lucian play.
fight over the bottom lane and the initial picks here for both teams.
Yep.
Strong pickups for both sides. There are a couple answers still for a Lucian if they do lock in Lucian. Of course, that ever-popular Twitch is still up. Kog'Maw, though, is a big one right now as well for me. Very strong in the heads-up trades and scales so well for that late game.
Amazing locking in Elise. Care package over to Dyrus for Wild Turtle. He has to pick up the Lucian. And we'll see what Dominate has. His jungler is also, he won't have to go on to Pantheon this game, but what will he decide to go with? I'm seeing a lot of play from him that was very good in the early spring split. A lot of that first ganks. We saw a good Pantheon gank coming in yesterday, but it kind of went off.
Yeah, you know, he's before that Pantheon game, he was really playing a lot of Evelyn.
Yeah,
They didn't have a lot of success with it, though. It is kind of the third go-to jungler pick here now, though. That being said, Kha'Zix is up as well, and they do have a pretty good support right now.
Wow, first time that Yordle made it through today.
Lantern him in for lane ganks.
Good call on the Kha'Zix possible lock in the swap on the Ziggs. Thinking Burger King may not have that many Ziggs game under or will want to play something else. But boys hovering. Dominate does get the Kha'Zix play in. They lock in the Syndra after seeing that.
Yeah, maybe take a look at that last dig game. Very strong performance from Shifter.
Yeah.
She has that long range stun is just cannot be underestimated.
Very.
Also, Syndra, if you remember, one of the original Bjergsen champions from when he was still playing over in Europe.
Yeah.
Very, very well known for his Syndra play. And we'll see if he can exert his will. That, or never mind, he's playing against, excuse me, that was Boy who locked it in. So.
Well, no, yeah, he's taking it away from him still.
He's taking it away
same
from
effect.
him, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's big fans of Nami nowadays. Yeah, Boy taking that away from Bjergsen. The long range stun, no matter whose hands it's in, is definitely a very powerful tool. Mid lane actually has to watch out because jungler like Kha'Zix that brings so much damage to his ganks, if there's a mid laner that can actually set those up, it's very, very scary.
Right.
Don't want to get tagged by any of those stuns. You will probably have to blow a summoner if Dominate pays a visit.
What a day of influential mid laners. 2 Nidalees right in a row and then 2 Syndras from the other side as well. Definitely liking the play coming from their, I wouldn't say teammates, but friends in the league.
I do really like Syndra versus Jax. She's able to take large chunks out of him if he does jump into a team fight. And this, the knockback is very, very strong for the team. So TSM actually feeling confident picking Jax into that matchup. They really have a lot of confidence in Dyrus as the most senior member now on the team for him to carry a game. But now there's going to be an increased need for that communication, where we saw there was a disconnect last time with Dyrus on the Shyvana and the team not following him on his initiates. They really need a lot more in his hands now that he is going to be the one with that Jax. They're putting a lot of effort into getting him fed, being that strong split pusher.
And to add to that, it's almost been both parties struggling in that communication area. We'll have to see if it can be righted within our last game of the day here. Glebe looking to lock down something for Bjergsen in the mid lane here. Typing it in.
Yeah, that lock in for Curse though. Expected, as we talked about last game, one of the other counters there for Jax very easily is Renekton. Not only does Renekton bully Jax in 1v1 matches heads up early, but he also is better at that follow jungle, where you're jungling half the time and then you're trying to soak up experience on turrets in a very dangerous situation. Renekton does have a good amount of sustain early with his Q, as well as the ability to CS under turrets.
Interesting pickup. Crowd liking the Nidalee once again into the game. We'll get a few more Spirits today, Kobe. There weren't enough, apparently. And we do have, like we said, the Nami lock-in for Glebe, something Lemon Nation has actually recently drawn some bans on because of the effect of bubbles during the team fights.
So they're liking the Nami before Nidalee. They get their disengage, and then they have the confidence to last pick and bring that poke.
Good drive, rounding out the team, leaving Bjergsen for the last pick. And before the game goes live, let's do a quick poll and see who guys last picked at LOLesports.com. And your last vote of the day, where 74% of you are predicting that TSM will come out on top. But remember, keep sending your votes to @LOLesports. Use the hashtag CRSWin or the hashtag TSMWin. It's going to be your votes going live to the game. You'll see them down on the scoreboard screen.
Yeah, actually. Similar game we're going to have here to the last one, because one team, early game oriented, Renekton power, Shyvana power. They've got Kha'Zix in the jungle as well, can have very high impact early ganks. And the other team going to rely on the scaling from their Jax. See if TSM can weather the storm, weather that early game storm, and get to the point where Dyrus will take over the game.
It's been interesting to say that, can we see TSM weather that storm? It's not something you usually hear about a team that would place top, but it's what's kind of spread out in the split. It's almost like being in the European split last year. Anything is happening to any team, and you just can't tell what's coming next.
And also, TSM used to be so early game oriented. They would be the ones with Renekton. Dyrus would hit that over and over. They have flipped the switch this time, though.
We'll see how they formulate into this play. It's going to be on to the Rift for our last game of the day. Curse versus Team Solo Mid. Get some fist pumps from the crowd as we lock onto the Rift. Early consumable ward started in the bottom lane, and the sweeper for Gleeber.
Yeah, one sweeper. He also got real wards. Both guys starting with actual vision wards for the invades here. Let's see if they do a lane swap, because TSM, you don't want that Jax Renekton matchup under really any circumstances, because it is going to be very hard for Dyrus. So TSM probably going to look for some sort of swap to get him out of that situation. Right now, though, if you invade a bottom side, they're going to invade red. That means their duo is going to need to be on that side of the map to support the invades. And that would mean a regular lane matchup with Dyrus Jax versus Quas Renekton. But Curse go for the same invade here, and that means that they will leave their duo top probably. They do see the ward down there on red buff.
Good place by Void Boy, actually right on the spot to the right of the fire pit where you can't be seen from the turrets. But they know the pings are there. You can see it coming out from Team Solo Mid. They're playing this one safe. And actually, after watching these last games, they're kind of seeing every team back and come back through the jungle. They're right where they would be able to catch someone. No, it's not going to happen this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're waiting for that counter from Curse, but Curse are not going to bite. They're just going to go with the regular red side trade, and Curse are actually going to initiate the lane swap.
And it's going to be stopped very early, it seems, to the turret. You see Cop get right on that wave, instantly slamming it into the turret. Actually just holding it at least.
Okay, so what he's doing here
I thought he was attacking.
Yeah, this is a very interesting thing. I always talk about, controlling minion waves. That right there is the easiest way to do it. You head off your opponent's wave before it meets up with yours. Basically what you're doing is hurting the enemy minions and focusing enemy minion fire onto your first minion that hits there, because they come in a line, but you stack up the enemy minions into a 3 and 3 formation here. So they're all doing damage focused on your first minion, even though it initially hits further up in the lane in enemy territory. The damage focus will ensure that it pushes against you, and that's the way to control the lane very early without any impact from the opponents.
Little tricks of the trade. We heard Doublelift talking about that consistently in his after-game interviews. He just says it's pushing towards me for the early part of the game. That's how. We'll see Cop and Special trading some Relic in the top lane as they go for that. And the early Dragon, again, coming in. Dyrus soaking up experience. We'll see if he actually has the strength to head up at level 2. It's been a dangerous, dangerous game to be doing that. And a lot of top laners have had to just keep the buddy system going.
Yeah. Elise, very, very good. Taking these early dragons as well. As we said, 3:30. This one's going to be a little bit slower, but the dragon timer should be known by both teams. Approximate dragon timer.
Smited down. Easy plays coming in. Turtle's got his lane pushed all the way up on this one. Looks like he's trying to deny as much as possible. The whole team is down here. They're actually getting the golem. Obviously their side of the jungle, but a possibility for a kill. Quas, if he ever wanted to come back. He knows better than that, though. He's been doing this since last split.
Yeah, they're just going to make their rounds on the top side of the jungle. Whether it's blue or red, doesn't matter because they have the duo up top. A lot of vision there on the first back from Void Boy as well.
Yeah.
Because of those 3-man ganks mid. Don't want to be caught out.
And the mid laners get some attention of their own. I'm sure they got to be happy about it. Mid laners are always playmakers. Void Boy getting a quick clear on what's at the turret with good farm, 28 to 25, as Bjergsen is coming back off the fountain with the chalice. Keep his magic resistance up. keep himself safe in lane as well. Nothing too erratic from either team. Everybody's playing safe until somebody makes the first mistake or the first move. But both of these teams have kind of, we know that they are reactive to what other teams have been doing. So it might be a while before the first move is made.
Interesting pink ward there too. Pretty deep in their own territory from Voyboy. So they're expecting some secondary blue invade. That 7-minute, very important blue. Gonna see if anybody from TSM sneaks a ward close to that area, because TSM have already done preemptive swap for that, sending support up top there to support Jax. You don't really like the Jax versus Renekton matchup, but if you do, you can supplement it with a Nami in order for him to push that wave and get it crashing into a turret.
Haven't seen Bjergsen throwing too many spears just yet over at Voyboy. He's been able to farm that lane pretty safely. Right now, 42 to 32. And Voyboy's been known to carry a game himself if he can get it up there. Usually it's been the Yasuo play that's been able to put the team on his back. And now top lane, Dyrus trying to get the Counter-Strike on, but against Renekton, you can't go too hard.
Yeah, and Curse, they do not want to give up the second dragon. Want to stop that chain, so they're getting their duo down bottom very early for this one. And it will be Renekton into Jax now. We'll see how much Quas can actually punish Dyrus and increase this CS deficit. It's already taking a good advantage here.
A great play there as well. Also, Kobe, we can watch again if they decide to quickly do blue or wait for it again for that dragon buff to be used.
Yeah,
so we can always watch.
Pretty calm though, honestly, from both junglers so far. They've got a lot of stuff to work with here. Ganking a Renekton, that's 5 versus a level 3 Jax, is very hard because Dyrus can Quas can actually fend that off fairly easily. Very difficult to pick up a kill. That's why Quas is playing so far forward, even without wards.
Yeah.
He knows that there's not a lot of kill potential from TSM. Even if they do send up Elise, it would just be one of many other resources that they have to spend up top.
Just quickly in and out to harass, causing Dyrus to have to chug all those potions. As you called it, Amazing was up there, but knew it was just, it rather could have been a wasted time and just too much of a chance to gank. So it leaves Quas to defend.
And Quas closing in on level 6, even though Renekton's level 6 was nerfed, still very substantial ability for 2v1, fending off ganks.
Good sidesteps. Voyboy trying to put the harass down. Bjergsen, even with the standard lanes now, can't really get too much roam on. Voyboy doing a good job at crashing his wave into the turret. Amazing now to pick up some buffs. A little more effective on the ganks. We'll see if he can get into some action. We haven't really seen Dominate or Amazing yet.
And let's talk about the prep for this dragon already, even though it's, 1 minute 45 seconds out in the future.
Yeah.
Early trinket swaps from Curse, getting those sweepers in time. And they're working towards Sidestones. But the swaps from TSM, a bit slow. They are pretty slow in general at switching over to sweepers. Dyrus definitely wants to be healthy for it as well when it comes back.
Good harass by Quas. Keeps him in lane for a little bit longer as he tries to get the Counter-Strikes done. All right, so they take blue a little bit after. Won't have it for the dragon, though.
Dyrus has to use his teleport to get back to lane because of the mismatch. And Quas is bullying under turret. So the teleport for TSM won't be available for second dragon spawn. They could probably call that one out. Their minion wave did see him teleport in.
Bubble flash by Xpecial. Dragon in 40 seconds. That's very good to have down. A little bit of initiation here. Also, not level 6 on the bottom. Wild Turtle has hit it. That means Cop and Xpecial should be quite close, but those ults for the Dragon will be huge.
Yeah, and if we're watching that top lane there, Quas wants to shove the lane up so that he can push Dyrus away and retreat to a safe spot to get his teleport off, because Dyrus can't stop his teleport. And that would be pretty big for TSM.
They both got each other in that area.
So Quas wants to get well away from Dyrus in time for that one, just so that they have the threat of it. Because if they just have that threat of the teleport, that's often enough to even get the dragon. And Kha'Zix's still one of the best at taking those early objectives. since Dragon, no matter what your isolation damage nerfs are to the distance, Dragon's really, really far away from anybody else, so he's always going to get that. And TSM are going to get it with just the threat of the teleport. We'll see probably Quas teleport back up to the top lane actually to defend it after the fact of the Dragon.
Well, here come the spears, and there's not a huge amount of damage being output onto the Dragon. They should get this, but it may be a scary disengage. It looks like TSM has decided to go ahead and get a push on the mid lane and just kind of walk it out, getting some wards down here. Good movement by Curse. One-on-one for Dragons now.
Yeah, and Quas gets back to the top lane in time. Still a level advantage for him over Dyrus. Now that Dyrus has hit level 6 though, you get those very satisfying trades with Jax. Just charge up 2 auto attacks on a minion and get that very nice extra boost of magic damage for your trade.
Bjergsen very light on the spear throwing today. Just playing the lane safe, making sure the objective game is going to be team solo mids. Knows that Voidboy has the potential to 1v1 this situation, even with the heal on the side of Bjergsen. We haven't seen much fight all over the map with the buddy system. Like Zion said, the mid laners are playing even safer. The roaming isn't a buddy system, so the top laner is going to get somebody right away to get help. So a lot of slow kills coming into the games.
And honestly, the CS difference is not that bad for Dyrus. It's not getting punished that hard. But you have to take into account
Here we go.
that, you know, Quas left the lane for that Dragon. And that's where a lot of the CS that Dyrus made up came. But yeah, once again, fully charged up on that Rage for Renekton or Fury. Means that they don't want to tango even 2 versus 2 at this stage. They call back.
Yep.
Oh, no wards though. I mean, it's a possibility here. We see a circling in from Dominate. He smells the action.
Amazing and Dominate both just kind of making their way to the top lane, not seeing the gank. So Dominate wants a bit of the invade. Amazing is just going to go ahead and waltz down to the bottom side of the map. Really, nothing to come of that.
The big difference there with Dominate and all the other junglers that have gone for those invades is that Dominate didn't bring any wards with him.
Right.
When you are spending your time in enemy territory like that, it's a pretty big win that he was able to get in there safely. But he doesn't have any wards to drop while he's over there, so no sustained win for Curse comes from that invade. He's not able to get continued information from that side of the map, which would be extremely helpful, especially for Quas, since he's really trying to bully Dyrus and keep him down.
Trying to get speared out. He's got a little bit of damage on him. See Bjergsen's first bit of power. It's not too big with the Fiendish Codex just yet. The gold also very and almost dead even in this game. Long time before the next Dragon, so we're figuring a ward war fight is really going to be what puts either of these teams ahead.
I don't know. It's going pretty well for TSM, honestly. Not that they haven't been able to. Curse hasn't been able to keep Dyrus down that much. Yes, they did get that extra Dragon, but the gold is extremely close due to the extra CS made up there down in that bottom lane. And TSM feeling pretty good about how this early game is going. Definitely would like Dyrus to have a big say later on. Even without his turret, he's still going back to lane to soak up EXP. He's just very scared about it.
He's got a few wards behind him. He can stay safe here, but Quas is definitely flexing his muscles in that situation. Dyrus runs away. Quas even has teleport to get back in the lane if he does get aggroed on. It's a good spear all the way over to Bjergsen on this. Voidboy does not have his. It's up right now. See if he goes over and gets that. He will get help from Dominate, so that mid of the map clears. We may see some roam finally from mid lane, but I don't know if Bjergsen's really going to take off just yet.
Well, honestly, Curse do need continued ward coverage in that top red side jungle of TSM if they want to press this. They've got a Renekton with Tiamat. Amazing at pushing this early and shoving an advantage. However, needs to be backed up by vision. So you can see there, like he's got a huge lead over the Jax, and he should be pressuring.
Took about 100 HP.
But it's dangerous without that vision, so they have to call Dominate up. He spent some time in his topside jungle.
Wild Turtle putting the shell on. He goes hard onto this one. Special sidestepping in to take a few shots for the bodyguard.
Yeah, no boots for either of them, so it's pretty slow moving interaction there.
Almost saw the death coming too. Looks like they're going to be able to get some decent damage on the turret. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the Dragon as well.
Yeah, but amazing showing bottom means that Dominate knows there's no chance of a counter gank up top. So he's really looking hungrily at Dyrus right now, even under that turret. And this red side attention from Dominate is at the right time. Dragon is still a minute off, so he has time to do something up top and then still return down to the bottom side of the map. But he's got to make something happen pretty quickly here because the time is ticking.
They're going in slow. Dyrus has a counter-strike. He has nothing to leap to, though, so he flashes. Looks like he gets out of this one safely and leaps to another minion. Dominate waiting for the wave along with Quas, and they should be able to put a good amount of pressure and damage on this turret.
Yeah, that's pretty big for Curse. They do need to chase him off of the minions as often as possible. Pretty big win right there. 30 seconds on Dragon, though. We'll see what the answer is from TSM. They do have both teleports available at this point. If both of them join the fight, it's still a big advantage for Curse because Quas does a lot more right now than Dyrus. Dyrus on that Jax really needs at least one item.
Fell behind a little bit. Glebe running at this one quite hard. Throws down the tidal wave just on the edge of Dominate. He's forced to flash it. That's the movement. Passive movement speed from Bjergsen out of the brush, but he gets hit with spikes. Gonna slow him down.
It's not really a selling point for this TSM combo right now is the hard engage. They do not. That's the thing that they are lacking significantly. So trying to collapse like that is pretty much a waste of resources because that's not what this team excels at. Their hard CSC is basically Dyrus who's under farm right now with the Counter-Strike or skill shot CC's landing. This is much more their forte. Vision control around Dragon and then poking with spears to try and fend off Curse. Much, much better use of their time. Good call here from TSM. Try and take advantage. Better be quick about it though. Quas is coming in hot.
Bjergsen doing a great job trying to whittle them away from the mid of that fight. Cop over the wall with Valkyrie. Wild Turtle tries to throw the culling directly into Quas. Dominus is on. He gets the heal coming in. He's not going to get Tide Callers though.
Slow burn.
Speed for him. All that damage. Oh wow, Dominate. KS secure.
Now that's only first blood though. That's only one kill for Curse. And not only did they lose Dragon, but they're also losing top lane turret and Jax farm. Lots and lots of Jax farm.
Spider did not want to do damage.
Oh, never mind. They also got Glebe.
Glebe close. Actually gets the end of the ulti there. Glebe coming off of Voyboy. He did use it, but it was a swipe from Quas.
Amazing down as well. Just kills all over, leaking in here for Curse. Picking up a lot across the map. Now they actually have really good control. Those extra 2 kills, unfortunate for TSM.
And this is where they have to be careful. Curse gets a little bit, but they don't take too much and get themselves in trouble. Let's take a look at this one more time.
Yeah, amazing. Confident after his catch on a cop there with a combo, but he's Corky.
Boom.
And plenty of damage.
Puts on the handcuffs.
Out there.
160 to 157. 80 carries, quite even at this point. Just a kill there.
That was amazing in kind of the way that like America's Funniest Home Videos are amazing. Where like the little kid runs into the glass door.
Yeah. I didn't see the screen. 3-0, 18 minutes in. And we're seeing Curse take a slight hold on the game and the ability to fight those objectives. Really no gold or difference in turrets either right now. So you see who can make these impact plays. That first kill, we said, that was first blood to Dominate. And then it just kind of kept cascading. Makes Quas big. Also, Cop got that solo kill for himself. So that makes the players feel even better. The confidence is Curse through the roof after those kills. We'll see if they can carry it.
Yeah, but even with TSM giving up those extra 2, look at the gold. It's not that bad for them, and they do have the scaling Jax. The only problem is that it's so hard for him to fight this 150 CS Quas. He really just has to watch the minions. Very, very sad that he lost that cannon there, but nothing he can do about it. There's no way he can get in range of it. Just waiting for the minions to push into his territory so he can see us safely.
Mid lane going to see some pressure from Team Solo mid.
Collapse from Quas too.
Yep, he's coming down from the backside. He may walk over a ward unless he chooses that turret path right next to Raze. Oh, he grabbed Turtle on the back line! Oh, how is that for a handshake, friend? Glebe's gonna go down now. He gets a nice heal for himself and from the Primal Surge. Xpecial with another target onto Wild Turtle.
What a clutch play from Curse right there. So well played. I mean, Voyboy lines it up, but then The immediate follow from Xpecial there. Flash play box into the hook, barely snagging Turtle. Highest priority target. Earns them a dragon.
And they are going to get a little bit more off of that. Cop helping to pick up the turret on the backside. He's actually another player that likes the Zerk.
Yeah, let's take another look at that.
Check this grab.
Dead eye stun onto Turtle.
In the back.
And then, what a pick. Dominate comes in for the secure on the kill. And they get another one with the Quasmo. Good little stun there, large chunk out of Glebe. Getting them the turret. Whole time though, Darius was pushing once again. So that Jaxo-meter
growing
for the late game, still ticking up slowly.
It's not too scary just yet.
No, not yet.
Dodging out, Xpecial lifts his arm real quick and gets out of that one. Dominate 2-0-0 as he picks himself up 2 fast kills on the game. This one kind of just exploded out of nowhere. A little more explosion in the top lane. Quas and Dominate. Grandmaster's on already, forcing the flash with just a little bit of a leap.
All right, TSM trying to shove down mid. Another stun.
What a huge stun! 3 players all stunned up onto TSM. Xpecial's on the front line. He's already quite big with the Sightstone, but they still are able to shred through that HP and get him down.
Yeah, not enough backup there because they didn't have Dominate. He had to go back to base, chunked out. Oh, speaking of chunked out.
Womp womp. Oh, watch out for that one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's going to be close. You might not want to run. Oh. Those are nice. We'll say that's nice. 21 minutes on the clock. Team Solo Mid is starting to take control of the map here within the last few minutes. Even after losing 4 kills, they kind of turned it on.
They did also lose their respawn to blue buff there. Dominate was able to seal it away, but that's the small win. That's pretty much the only thing that Chris was able to take off the map. Other than that, TSM doing a good job controlling.
Bjergsen backing off. Team Solo Mid looks like they're going to take a breather for just a moment. Also, Glebe gets himself back. Really tight fights coming in here on Team Solo Mid from Curse. Able to hit everything they need. Voidboy is locking down those stuns. Like you said, if he can start playing with the Fog of War and Curse can, as they do, have 4 sweepers and get that cleared, they're going to be able to make some pretty impressive plays with that Scout of the Week.
All right, as we transition to that mid game, TSM's plan is split push Dyrus with our 4-man poke squad, relying on Nami for a disengage. Pretty much everybody on the 4-man squad with poke and with high mobility, so everybody can pretty much fend for themselves.
Moving towards the mid. TSM trying to dictate a little bit of positioning here. We saw this happen in a game earlier where mid was just given up as well for the turret, or for the dragon.
In this situation, TSM do not want to actually fight that dragon.
Right.
They want to make Curse pay for taking the dragon. So very good option for them. They have 2 lanes pushing. Yes, it is the Jax getting his farm, but it's also shoving up mid. Now the question is, can they get out of the collapse of Curse? Because they are very mobile. Pretty good juke right there.
Good move so far. Great trade. Dragon for turret. Quas getting a little caught up. They converge onto him in the jungle. Throwing it out. Bjergsen huffs that one as hard as he can, and it catches the croc.
Yeah, Quas thought he was catching Darius. Going to keep TSM in the bad spot.
Oh,
he gets
just
collapsed
off
on
the cake.
first to take down the turret. TSM rolling very, very steadily here. Jaxo-meter is getting into the orange zone.
Yeah,
not quite red yet.
Obi, that was 50 CS. He's only 20 down now.
Yep.
Dyrus says, oh, I should say the team has given Dyrus the chance to really do what he needs to. Great play by TSM here. Even after losing those 4 kills, they quickly recuperate.
And you can see mid-game power of Nidalee Spears once again taking effect. This one, though.
One more time.
Quas falling a little bit too close, and Darius gets him with the stun. Wild Turtle going right into the face there. Look at that confidence from Bjergsen that he can finish it off. Predictable escape path from Quas. Need a little bit more zag.
Finally, a bit of a gold lead to break and add pressure on 5-3 in turrets. About $1,000 of gold in the lead, and the pink wards start to secure TSM's side, so that means they can start moving up that ward line and really get into the face of Curse now.
Yeah, I mean, you're always warned of the late game power of Jax, and you know now he does have his Trinity Force and his Cutlass. However, there's some decent CC and peeling on Curse. So So if they can actually land one of those stuns that goes through Jax into the rest of the team, then you can actually nullify that late game beast. Just because he's strong late game doesn't mean there are no options. Anybody who's strong late game can be dealt with enough CC.
Whoa, Dominate dives in on Amazing. That was very questionable trying to get out of this one. They did not have any vision on that corner of the map. They were going headstrong there.
Chris trying to make a move, but because they were not able to make that pick, the slow incremental leads from TSM stacking up as Darius gets minions and a lot of tower damage. Because he got Trinity Force instead of that Blade first, he also has very good trading power with Renekton now.
Also calls down the pressure of Quas, and he cannot teleport up into a fight if necessary. Dyrus can, so this is kind of all working out for TSM right now.
Yeah. All they have to do is keep on relying on that 4-man squad's mobility and ability to disengage from Curse as Curse continue to try and force them to take one of these fights. Because they're just buying more time for Darius, more time for Jax.
Another blue buff as well. Bjergsen always putting at least one of his bushwhacks right in the middle of the lane. The minions on the opposing team are going to catch it, and then he gets vision whenever it does hit. It's actually coming up right now. Minion walks right over it. He's got vision back there, and the team can move a little safer.
Darius heading back to base for another purchase. Whew. Heading into code red here.
Gotta watch the
Turtle
pinch.
gets caught though.
Gets caught, but everybody's kind of separated up and down, riding the wave, baby. It's going to be a kill going on to Void Boy. TSM now tries to figure out who's next. Looks like it's going to be Dominate. He goes in Vids. They throw down the sweeper so they can see him. Xpecial grabs Bjergsen to try and cut out some of the spears, but he is just going to be able to get himself back in the fight. Good hits coming up from Dyrus. The Grand Master slapping lamps across the heads, and it looks like he is going to do it again for a double kill. There's the spear, possibly the chase here. Xpecial could maybe link him into something. Oh, the flash! The flay back! It should be able to lock down one more as he tries to make his own distance walking away for that one. He was still going to throw it.
All right, Jaxometer in the red zone now, Riv. That's going to be a Baron buff on top of it, too. He benefits most over pretty much any champion in the game from Baron buff as well. So here's Curse. They're forcing once again on the 4-man squad. They tunnel, though, so hard on trying to get that force that Void Boy compromises his position, and they weren't able to burst down Turtle in the first wave, so it has to be Quas picking it up. And by that time, Darius has teleported in. He's heading off of Cop, and TSM are able to pick it up. It's been a long waiting game from TSM. They did weather that storm that we talked about, and now it's all TSM. After that Baron buff, it's going to be a strong return to that split push power. Jax also going defensive now, not going for the completed Blade of the Ruined King versus Quas. He's going with the Rando and Zobman. Ah, so difficult for them to deal with now.
Talked a lot and heard it from the top laners. A very stressful place to be right now, especially when teams play team solo mid. We always see them going after Dyrus, but this game he kept himself safe, and these are the results. Definitely playing stronger and having a better game than usual. Dyrus is kind of pulling through and breaking away from some of that stress.
Yep, the whole team seems to be breaking away from that stress. And now they've added the Talisman of Ascension completed onto the TSM squad. So talked about that mobility before. It's going to be even harder for you to catch them. And it can actually serve as we've seen, really good re-engage tool. After TSM are able to kite Curse, they can turn it right back around on them. No teleports this time around either for top laners, so it will be a static split push, 1-4.
Good clears. 4 pink wards on the Baron. You see the result already spinning around them. A little bit of gold usage to get that one down, but they have 5,000 in the lead to toy with right now, and the Dragon is alive. It's not worth the most it can be at this point, but still good gold. And if you can see Curse getting a fight here, as said, they're a team that can fight from being behind. It's going to be a tough one right now, though.
Yeah, because they are definitely hurting. You can take a look at the vision control.
Ouch.
TSM, wards all over both sides of the jungle. Everything that is in Curse's territory. Pretty much, Curse just, they waited too long, and they missed their window. Did not get to use their power spike. And TSM now, full control.
Yeah.
Don't even need to split push. Grouping up for the 5-man. Wait for a couple spears.
Bjergsen
Jump right in.
more than happy to be in this position. Nidalee poking turrets. He's got a grin from ear to ear. You can see him already putting one in the face of Xpecial, trying to taunt out the grab. Having the grab is a little more dangerous than that grab being thrown. Once it's down, they can really push in and know they have the objective. Watch out for Void Boy Scat of the Week as well. So many things they have to be wary of, but they're spreading perfectly for this. They're not grouping up.
Really, Curse have to be watching these cocoons because
those two,
they're extremely low cooldown from TSM with amazing CDR build.
Little
Spiderling's taking it for him
keeping him safe. And with that hook down, they're able to walk up to that turret for more damage. That pressure being away could be big. Now the hook's up. There's a repel to be had. Watch out for the turret damage. It goes over to Dyrus. They're able to lock that down. Jumps right onto Cop, but he wants out. Has killed Cop's escape here. Cannot use Flash. This gives them the advantage to now take down the inhibitor freely. They're going to go ahead and waltz out with the power of Baron under their feet still.
Pretty big window now. I mean, the inhibitor turret line has been breached. Very easy for TSM to return. They have complete control of the map.
Dyrus making a lot
Rally caps on for Curse, though.
Rally caps indeed. Put them on sideways, backwards. Team's definitely looking for you to be behind them. 51,000 to 43,000. We saw a game earlier today with a huge gold lead come down to a 3,000 deficit, and that team that was down won the game. It's big chokehold that TSM has onto Curse right now, but hopefully they can get it out before they're suffocated.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be great for TSM's confidence because with Reggie talking about them, changing their focus, they'll look more internally. Being vindicated in this game with a win is going to do a lot for them. They're bringing the coach as well to help work with them and look at the past losses. It's very, very needed turnaround for this young team.
Slow push by TSM in the middle. A lot of high caliber coming in to this LCS, and the teams are only getting better if you don't adapt as the other teams do. We see the standings change quite quickly. We're seeing some new faces on top. Right now, old faces struggling to get to the top of that ladder as well. It seems like TSM has been correcting the right things. Curse making good moves in that middle game. It's just, it seems they can't work off them fully. TSM was able to kind of rebuttal whatever those 4 kills were, and it's almost like they didn't happen.
Yeah, and this Curse team, they're pretty down on themselves now. It's been a tough struggle for them. They came into the split with very, very successful scrims. Very, very high hopes for the team. Thought they were going to perform much better at the very beginning. One of the few teams that thought they were going to come out strong in the beginning of the split. But it has not panned out for them. Very frustrating for the Curse squad.
Bjergsen, ultimate AP build. He says, I can finish my Rabadons kinda, but then I could actually get the Blasting Wand for the Void Staff, so I'll just do that.
Or AP. Load that all in the basket.
Wasn't on that quite the clip of gold for the Rabadons. See 46 to 55, all that gold, a lot of it rather, is coming out in those spears that Bjergsen's huffing through and around the minions. 204 for him and 327 coming into this game, the highest farm there on Nidalee. Dyrus around the map, really working off the ball for the team this whole game. He's kind of on the map every so often, but he's always doing the right things.
Yep, Dyrus still farming up. Double golems, return to bottom lane.
That was
Double golems, return to bottom lane. 4-man squad, they're actually split. 2-2-1 split push here. TSM getting fancy. Trying to get all the minion waves pushed up here. There is pretty good wave clear from Curse, though.
Yep.
With that Syndra, a very strong wave clear that also doubles as a pick potential. So you have to be wary of that long-range stun coming out. And Cop holding his own in the mid as well. They're going to drag this one out as long as it takes for Curse. They're not going to give in easy.
Team Solo Mid going for the for sure win, if you will. Already have super minions coming down on that bottom wave, and top is going to be crashing into the turret once again soon. Xpecial getting hit up. Cannot follow with the cocoon, but that flash is down. They already have Curse on the back foot here.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard for Curse to get any sort of vision around Baron.
Whoa!
Couple misses.
Everybody going a little crazy here. Slow it down. TSM Dyrus, the only one in the fight. He's going to get locked up here. and Curse finds a bit of the kills that they want.
Whoa!
Into a 4-man, throws on the Randuins. There's the shutdown we saw onto Dyrus. That's big gold for Dominate. Amazing getting hit up here. The Thresh hook misses. Can Wild Turtle turn this around? He gets hit up quite big, but TSM is still able to do this one back into their favor.
Yeah, they pull out a kill after that. Kind of disastrous start where Dyrus got too deep, and you saw effectiveness of the CC comboed with Syndra ulti, able to take him down away from the rest of the team. But TSM return the aggression, and they still have so much control around this Baron with vision that all of their pre-laid plans here now will pay off, and it's too dangerous for Curse to jump into that fog of war around Baron. Here's Dyrus going hero mode.
Yeah.
Chase off, dominate.
Oh, deeper? I can go deeper.
That gave him some confidence. Chunk down dominate from the beginning. So now they get the flash miss cocoon from Amazing into the box though, and the rest of the team pull out while Dyrus left there by himself. But Curse got a little bit overreaching here. Looked at that squishy Gleed.
Yeah.
Spear hits onto Cop. That
Nice
was the
bubble.
first one. Let's see another one here. Oh no, it's Special who gets the second one.
Yep.
Turtle jumping in a little bit far there.
That Baron just grabbed. Good 3 minutes left on that for the guys, and they will be moving around the map for sure with all the security that they need. Wards down for them are actually getting purchased back up so they can replace. They have to move that line up of pink wards. Keep it safe. 1 minute on Dragon. I don't even think that's going to be on the books right now for TSM. It's just going to be to that top inhibitor. They're going to start locking things down. And they have the bottom one to go to.
Look at this from Bjergsen, the Alacrity upgrade for his boots on Nidalee. Just so he can get in position for spears quicker. He can come at you from all angles here. We've seen so many Nidalee games today that these spears hitting over and over. You just kind of expect them to hit nowadays. But Bjergsen going that extra mile.
Yeah.
So he can get in position just a millisecond quicker.
We actually heard Jat talking about it earlier. The more AP to the amount of percentage you're getting off of penetration, he goes for the Void before that Rabadon's to lock in that penetration. So we can be doing some big damages.
He's got his Rabadons.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the other blast one.
He's going to make two of them.
He's going to make a 2 Rabadons.
He's going
Why
for,
not?
what's that before second Rabadon?
You got to get a Rabanoodle cheeseburger and then put the patty in the middle. 6-7. Bjergsen messing with everybody here, even my brain. 4 games deep. I don't even know what's going on. 63,000 to 52 here. 18 on Dyrus, and he is not looking like he's stopping. He says, don't worry, I got this inhibitor by myself.
All right, so they're going for the open door here. Return to that inhibitor, take the uncontested fight. Well, it's contested. They just don't have a turret to work.
A little bit. Uh-oh. Oh no, Especial on the front line, the calling into the backside. He delivers it back to Especial. He says, here you go, buddy. I got one of these earlier. Here's the medicine bag for you. The Spider flying over with the Frenzy. Love it when it happens for Volatile Spider and Spider in Spider form. A lot of spiders. Let's see if Boy can push this one out. Glebe taking that damage once again, but there's so many heals to come out. You have Glebe's heal, then you have the Primal Surge coming out of Bjergsen that's probably doing 400-500 HP per heal or more right now, and they are still buffed up with Baron right now. Kobe, the stats, making them big.
Yeah, and really. Oh, Dominic gets caught out.
Good thing for that ultimate and reduction of damage. Boy takes a spear also. Good catch there, but it's not the amount of HP he wants to go back into the fight with. 38 minutes on the clock. And it looks like TSM's going to go around the horn on this one to get everything they want.
Yep. I mean, Curse were not able to make that mid-game power play that they wanted to with this team. And TSM's split push poke team just pays its dues, and they weathered the storm. It took long enough.
So much poke flying back and forth. Somebody's going to go down soon. Boy is the one that gets caught. Randuin's going off everywhere. I think everybody's popping them right now. Amazing's going to be the next one. There's Dominate's claws. He sinks them in deep, and it is going to be Dominate going for the fountain. Wrong way on that one. Looks like he's trying to go not into the fight. TSM just pushes everyone out. They can't finalize any more kills on the side of Curse.
They're going to take every single structure in Curse's base.
Oh, Turtle. Very nice face-to-face with Cop there. A little bit on the KDA. Going up 7-12 as this game comes to a close around 39 minutes. TSM able to take down Curse as they drop the Nexus.
Yeah, congratulations to TSM. Much needed pickup for them right there. Get them back on the road.
That would have been matching their 0-4 streak loss. Cannot has that, in the words of TSM. They're going to be able to stop and thwart that loss. Very good play. A lot of Italy play coming out today, and it really showed true in what we've been seeing recently in the meta. Once everything kind of unfolds and the vision war begins, you can't dodge spears unless you move. Doesn't matter how much vision you have, the spear is still going to hit you in the face. If you got people like Hai throwing them, you got people like Bjergsen chucking them around as well. It's been good.
It's been a very strong showing for her. And there we go. These teams, very sportsmanlike.
Absolutely. Great games all around. Curse played quite a strong early game, as they usually do. Kind of history repeats itself every time with them. 4 instant kills coming up. Dominate getting one right away with the help of Quas on the full engage. They were deep in TSM's jungle, and then somehow TSM knew what to do to recuperate right away. Right away.
Curse just need to be a little bit bolder. Press it a bit more in that mid game. In the early start. It's good to see Turtle happy.
Yeah.
Big smile on his face.
TSM pleasing the fans, coming out with this win. As Reginald said, they're really looking inward, trying to find themselves. Where is it going to be that a correction needs to be made? It has to come from everybody. Nobody was making one big mistake here. It looks like they ironed things out on that one. I'm actually going to go ahead and send it down to Freak, who's on the winner's side.
Thank you very much. What's up, guys? I'm here with the victorious Bjergsen. I got to say, your spears were flying. I would say they were soaring that game. How was the Italy matchup for you?
The matchup, I didn't pick the matchup to win the lane, obviously. It's just a matchup where I want to go even, and then they fit well in our comp, and we just felt like they didn't have enough engage. They only had picks, so if we had the Mikhails on Nami, they wouldn't be able to really go on us, and we could just use the poke all the time. So that's why I picked the champion. It wasn't as much for the matchup, just for the overall comp.
How many of your games actually come in as we'll adapt throughout champs? Like how many on-the-fly calls versus prepared strategies do you guys tend to employ?
It was our prepared strategy too, because you see patterns in teams, and it's pretty easy to anticipate some of the picks they're going to do. And in Italy, I just said, like, all right, so if we ban all these champions, I'm going to pick it regardless of matchup, because LeBlanc was gone, Yasuo was gone. The high-pressure, like, really scary ones were gone, so I felt like I just told my team I can pick Italy into any matchup if that's what we really want to go for, and that's what we did.
So that worked out really well for you guys. So now you're still, as TSM, in the middle of the table right here, around 4th, 5th. You're still kind of gelling with this new team, right? You've got 2 new guys on the roster. How is meshing with these guys going?
Of course, it could be going better. Other teams like Dignitas is like instantly got really strong from the roster changes, but we're having some more issues than other teams, and I think it's fine. We just need to keep working on like the things that we're weak at, and it's just mostly communication and meshing as a new team, because we have the individual skill and we have the resources. We just need to like get into play. And I feel like even though yesterday's showing as LMQ was really weak, I felt like we as a team had the potential to play a lot better than we did last week. And if we can improve as much next week and in the upcoming weeks, we can be really strong around playoffs.
Okay, so what's it going to take for you guys then to show up next week and go for the 2-0 and start moving back towards the top of the table?
Our analyst is flying in on Tuesday, so he's going to be living with us in the house, and he's going to help us out and just improve us overall as a team. And hopefully that's going to make us good enough to be top 2 or maybe even the best team in America right now.
So if you guys can do it. Bjergsen, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the win, and congrats on the awesome performance in Italy as well. Well, that's going to do it for me here, but we're going to send it back to the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. And as we draw Week 3 to a close, let's check out how the teams stack up in the North American LCS. In first, it's Dignitas and LMQ. They're going to be followed by Cloud9 and CLG, who are 1 game back in third.
In 5th, we have TSM with 4 wins and 4 losses. And sharing last, it is Complexity, Curse, and Evil Geniuses.
And we've seen some amazing action this week, and the hashtag LCS big plays have been pouring in. So let's break down a few players who have stood out with our Week 3 OP5.
Up first, we've got Ackerman, who had back-to-back good games and showed that LMQ have another play in their notebook with his Kale split push. He had 11 kills, the most for a top laner in Week 2.
And in the jungle, making his LCS debut this week, it's Kez. Seamlessly stepped up into Complexity's lineup and helped secure a win over Curse with his superior ward placements.
In the mid lane, it is Xiao Xiao. He racked up 16 kills this week, the most amongst mid laners in Week 2. And he helped his team end with another perfect 2-0 week.
Next, it's EG's AD carry Alltech. He had a huge game on Twitch, going 13-1-6 to help take down Cloud9.
OP as support is, of course, Afromoo, who can always be counted out to make huge plays, and this week his Morgana did not disappoint. To give you an idea, over 75% of your responses to our Twitter question about playmakers were calling the honors for Afromoo.
But the man who stood out above the crowd and claimed our Week 3 MVP title is LMQ's Xiao Wei Xiao.
Yeah, he had 2 great games, only dying once and getting a 29 KDA for the week. He took Kazakh's toe-to-toe against Bjergsen, and he came out with the kill and an LCS big play. Then today, he rained deadly Nidalee Spears against Complexity, racking up 14 more kills to the delight of his Fantasy League owners everywhere.
Yeah, not to me, though. I played Jat, and Jat has him. The LCS returns next week, kicking off with a preview show on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 5:30 Central European Summertime.
Then SK Gaming will take to the Rift, followed by... they're going to go against Fnatic, by the way. And that is followed by Rockcat versus the Copenhagen Wolves.
Then in North America, LCS returns Saturday with a rivalry rematch between Team Solomid and Cloud9.
And Evil Geniuses will battle it out against LMQ. And after that, Dignitas will take on Team Curse, followed by CLG versus Complexity.
And for the full schedule of games, be sure to click over to lolesports.com. For now, that's going to do it for us today. So for myself, Kobe, Jat, Freak, and the entire live broadcast team, thanks for watching.
Clear calls, good plans.
Clear calls, good plans.
Clear calls, good plans.
Good call, good plan.
Yeah.
Hai can dive in here and start destroying the team, but he's got to be worried about
Kill the whole team.
control. Going in, Hai dashes in, get it, 1-2, he gets stunned out. Hai's low in mana. Doublelift knows it. That is not the first time he's dashed straight into enemies. Doublelift wants the kills and he knows he can get it. No!
Range minions.
Be able to glitter lance this one down if you can apply E after his shield comes back off a cooldown. He uses it to deny the kick. Oh, he has to get the resonating strike.
Westrice's lifesteal in half. That's the spear we're talking about. On top of a trap. One-shot kill.
Maybe like my left buttocks is like bigger than my right one, and I'm just like sitting crooked.
Oh no! That's the Zanya's going out. Crumbs gets in with 500 HP to get a kick onto Crepo. Still being useful even though he can go down in a single hit. Somebody's gonna go down soon. Boy is the one that gets caught. Randuin's going off everywhere. I think everybody's popping him right now. Amazing's gonna be the next one. There's Dominate's claws. He sinks him in deep.